Hi, thank you for watching Chittarupa Yoga and Fitness. I'm Laura Wilson, and I take seniors from inactive to the fullest activity possible by showing you ways to modify exercises and yoga poses so that everybody can find a way to keep moving and maintain their independence as long as possible. Today we're going to look at downward facing dog pose. Sometimes our wrists just don't want to go into that much flexion, so we're going to look at some options, different ways to modify this, or even different poses that we can take that give us a similar stretch without the strain on our wrists. Make sure you have a nice, a sticky mat, and I am going to be using a towel for part of this as one of the options if you want to grab one of those really quick. While you're getting ready, just a reminder to listen to your own body about what to do today. Subscribe to the channel, ask your friends to subscribe for me. If you enjoy it, hit that like button so more people out on YouTube can find it. And let me know if you enjoy these videos of modified poses, or if you prefer full workouts, so that I'll know what kind of things to plan in the future. All right, let's get on our mat. We'll start on our hands and knees and just looking at our downward facing dog pose to start with. So we spread our fingers as wide as we can get them, shoulder distance on our mat, and then we want to press as much as possible into the upper pads of our palms, and then pretend that they're sticky on each of our fingertips. Now you've also been told to squeeze your shoulder blades together, push them towards your hips, but gravity says So just a little shoulder help here. Separate the shoulder blades like you're in cat pose. Let's lift up and just begin here, pushing into those pads of the palms, lifting our hips to the ceiling, and we will keep our knees bent for here. So this is our basic downward facing dog pose, letting our heels go down. But again, if our wrists don't want to take that much flexion or don't want to go into that position to hold us up, first option is to roll the mat up a few times and place the heel of your palm on the mat so that you can press the pads and your fingertips into the floor. And then we can lift up, and that lifts or elevates our wrists a little bit, taking some of the pressure off. So this is for those who aren't feeling too much in the way of that wrist soreness. Similar concept with our towel. We're going to roll it up, place the heels of our palms here. The other option is, the nice thing about the blanket or towel or blanket is that you can continue to elevate even more. Be careful if you go too high though, because then you can hurt your fingers. But it's the same thing. We want the pads of our palms on the mat, the wrists are elevated ever so slightly, and we're going to lift up. Let's go ahead and release down from there. One option is to just avoid downward facing dog altogether and find our child's pose, which can also be modified using our towel, arms overhead for a stretch to our back, or forward if we want to roll our shoulders forward, taking care of them. And of course our head can be on the floor. So always feel free to take child's pose as an option. Another one that I really like is downward facing puppy pose. Very similar, but we're going to stay on our knees. And here you might want to switch off that towel to underneath your knees. Just a little bonus trick there. So we're on our hands and knees, and we're going to step forward, or let's drop back to our child's pose and walk our hands forward. Spreading them out as before, we're going to shift forward, and then as we shift back, our weight is going to come over our knees, and no pressure at all on our hands now. We can just leverage a stretch, drawing our tailbone back and up, ears between our arms, neck relaxed, and that way there's no pressure on our arms and wrists at all. We're just resting on the floor, pushing ourselves back and up. So let's come back to hands and knees, and we're going to look at one more alternative that gets us into that downward facing dog stretch, but without the play in our wrists, and that is our dolphin pose. So we're going to lower elbows to the floor underneath our shoulders. And if we take hold of our upper arms, where our elbows land is going to be right underneath our shoulders. So then we're going to separate again, cat pose, tuck our toes, and lifting up just like our downward dog, only now our head raises the floor. Our shoulders are opening up, and we can also go through walking our dog here. Just being aware, though, of how our shoulders feel when we're in that variation, okay? So let's come on back up. So give some of those a shot. You might even want to try those even if you're not having any trouble with your wrists. I find that the downward facing puppy pose is my personal favorite because it really helps me get that stretch to my lower back and, well, the entire back actually, without that pressure. It gives me a little leverage if that's what I'm focusing on. Downward dog stretches our back, stretches our hips, stretches the backs of our legs, hamstrings, and calves. So that's why I like the dolphin modification on that. But you figure out what works for you. Let me know in the comments what did work for you. And again, let me know in the comments if you like these modified pose videos or if you prefer a full workout, yoga or whatever. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and that like button. And I'll see you next time.